Good morning, everyone. My name is Arlene Grace, and I'm an intuitive energy life coach channel and mentor. This is a general energy forecast for December 1st, 2021. Take whatever resonates for you and leave the rest behind. So we've moved into December. Can you believe that? We are in the last month of 2021. And if we were to just go back to November, when we really feel into November was a 7 energy month. And it was really about integrity. It was about, am I willing to be me, walk out as who I am, to take off this mask of who I thought I was, perhaps discovering those places where I may have leaned into being who I wasn't. And when I say that, just noticing those places where we may have been conditioned to behave in certain ways, to be the good girl, to be that, to be quiet, to maybe even be verbose in such a way because I had to talk loud in my family to be heard, to be seen, and noticing these things rise up so that we could, take off the mask, so that we could really truly discover who we are and walk forth in integrity to that, building the confidence and devotion to ourselves, a devotion to loving ourselves. And now we've moved into December, and December, we're moving into an 8 energy month. And when I think about 8, when I think about this month, it feels as though it's going to be very momentous. There's going to be a lot of momentum. There's going to be a lot. It is a powerful month because 8 is about power. It is about movement. It's about mobility. It's about flow. And it's about, when you flip the 8 on the side, it's really, there is no end. It's constantly moving. And so if you think that you aren't, know that you are. And it's this, well, what is my focus, right? You're wanting to be very focused on the direction that you're moving in. What path have you decided to take? And when I feel into it, this is you facing you. This is you facing the truth of who you are at its very core. And then when you move it out, it's the truth of who you are with your partner, the truth of who you are with your lover, with your family, with your community, with your online community, with the world, with all of the things that are happening, the truth of who you are and being in the power of it. This is going to be a month where you are going to be discovering. It almost feels like October because everything's about relationship. And yet this feels like more because it is this energy of, now that I've moved into this place where I'm stepping into the integrity of who I am, now that I have deepened my own awareness of self, how does that look with my partner? Am I noticing where I am codependent? Am I noticing where I am going outside of myself in order to receive validation, love, where I may be manipulating or where I may even be controlling others in that? And man, it feels like there's so much movement in it. This is where you're going to notice in this energy of codependence or independence or interdependent, like you're going to notice as things happen, because it feels like there's going to be a lot of movement out in the community, in the world, on the news, on social media. Maybe it's going to be mandates. Maybe it's going to be, well, we see what's been happening, right? If you've been paying attention, the variants and all of those things, like it's okay. All of this information is here. And am I willing to choose what is right for me? Am I willing to stand in my truth? And do I believe that I have the power to do so? Do I believe that I have the power to face others as I choose me? whatever choice you make is right for you regardless. And it's, am I fighting to be right? Am I fighting to be seen, to be heard? Or am I willing to just choose me? It's almost like in the middle of that eight, that one place that's you, and it's standing alone in your power, never alone, but standing alone in your power, in the integrity of who you are, and not necessarily having to go outside of you, either into the past or into the future or outside to another person in order to validate that, in order to help you to choose, in order to tell you what to do. Are you willing to stand alone in the power of who you are? It's so powerful. And I know I keep saying that word, but it's like everything is changing. Everything's changing all the time, and you can feel that, and you can see that time feels as though it's moving so fast because change is happening so fast. Back in the day when, when you were younger, if any of you guys are like the same age as me, like back, I remember when days of summer, when summer was so long, where the days were so long, and it was because change was not as quick as it is now. Now we have all of this technology. Now we have instantaneous connection on Zoom. Now we have all of these things that are just quick, quick, quick. And because everything is so fast, it makes it feel as though time is moving really, really quickly too. And so it's a beautiful time to find, to this month, to find time just for you, to find those spaces just for you. And we're moving into this 9-4 day, like 9 energy, 4 of diamonds, and 9, it's all about graduations. It's all about letting things go. And the 4 of diamonds is about stability, certainty, commitment. It's about the body. It's about your value, the value of who you think you are, the value of what you're putting out in the world. And so you may have experiences today that will allow you to see the truth of you and be in the power of it. Now I'm going to give you an example. So yesterday, I went to go pick up my children, and I could not find my eldest. Couldn't find her. And my eldest is 14. So she takes the bus to go pick up my other child, and I went to go pick them up and couldn't find her, didn't know where she was. Phone wasn't working. She takes the public transit, and there was no way of me reaching her. There was no way of me finding her. And I just got angry. I was getting so angry and impatient, and I was trying to keep it together. I was trying to stay in control when I was noticing outside of me that I had absolutely no control. I had no control of knowing where she was, of connecting with her, of doing anything. All I could do was wait and be patient. And she comes home, and the bus was late. That was it. No place for her to get Wi-Fi, to connect with me, no opportunity to do that. And I did my best not to project, but I couldn't help but express, of course, the normal, where are you? Where were you? Did you stop anywhere? What happened? You got to get your phone fixed. Trying to control something that I had absolutely no control over, and trying to use my mind and my heart to navigate that so that I wasn't projecting out onto my child. And so I let her go, and I came down here, and I sat here, and I was feeling into the anger, and then it was like, boom, intense fear. And suddenly I was crying because all of this fear was rising up from my body. I was simply scared. And I've never lost my children. Like, I've never lost them at the mall. I've never lost them at the park. I've never lost them. I've never not known where they are. I've always just known. And that was my first time ever experiencing that. And so there were thoughts of my value as a mom, my value of being a protector, my value of this, and what is it within me? It was really me not feeling safe. I was not feeling safe. And I was projecting that out to my children. And that is the energy today. That is there will be experiences that will allow for you to, or there may be experiences today that will allow for you to see these things that are ready to shift because they don't belong. To know that you are safe, that my child was safe this entire time, to know that, I can't control what is out there. I can only control myself. And to allow that experience to rise up and to go. You may be feeling this move through the body, right? And so after I released all of that fear, after I cried it all out, I went back up to her and I apologized and I said, I'm sorry. I was scared. And she's like, yeah, I know you were scared. And I was like, yeah, you knew I was scared? And she goes, yeah, I knew you were scared. I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't even know I was scared. Right? And so I allowed that to be. And last night, before I went to bed, I was meditating and I was thinking, wow, like what an experience. And I'm sitting there and my eyes are closed. And then all of this like pain started to rise up from my body. Like I could just feel things tighten and move. And when that happens, I'm well aware that something is moving up and out. Like that is the magic of our bodies. And as I'm feeling into it, this memory just pops. And it was a memory that I thought I was done with. And this memory that was triggered by this experience that was rising up was that when I was 13 years old, and we didn't have phones then, I'd gone to go see a friend and I didn't tell my parents where I was going. And she was far, like she lived far away. And of course, I walked there. And so I spent the day with her. And as I was coming home, I was walking home. I'm 13 at the time, and there's a man, and he's following me in his vehicle. And he tried to take me. And so I ran to a house, and I'm just ringing the doorbell, and I'm knocking the door, and I'm freaking out, and no one's coming. And he's there, and he's waiting, and he's at the front of the house, and he rolls down his window, and he's like, you don't live here. And I go, this is my friend's house. And I'm ringing the doorbell and I yell back at him and I say, she's coming. And so he leaves. And so I wait there and I hide behind the bushes for about 10 minutes. And then of course I had this journey home. And so I know to take the main streets. And so now I'm running home, and he finds me and he sees me and he tries to like chase me, but I run into houses, I run into bushes, I do all of these things. And it was that was what was rising up. That memory was rising up, which was this triggered with this experience with my child. And this feeling of not being safe, and not being safe in the outside world, not being safe to roam free, not being safe to whatever, like all of these things just up and left. And I had to come to this place of making a new decision, of deciding, no, actually I am safe, that I was safe the entire time, that I knew what I was doing, that everything was perfect, that everything was well, and that everything is well for my child too. And so today it was letting go of that story. It was letting go of that idea that I'm not safe, or that she is not safe, or that any of us are safe, especially with everything that's happening in the world. It's this idea that everything is in perfect timing and divine timing, and landing into, I trust. I am certain. I am trusting my decisions. I am trusting in the value of me and my body. I am trusting in where I am headed, in where I am guided. I am committing to what it is that I'm putting out in the world. I'm committing to myself. I'm devoted to myself. And whatever needs to go will rise up and leave. And so be aware today and for the rest of the month, because your patterns will rise up. These ideas, these feelings, these emotions will rise up, especially if you've made a new decision. I've made a couple of huge decisions in the last little while. And because of these decisions, these patterns are rising up. And so today they rise up so they can go and I can make new choices. And that is what is happening for you. So allow yourself to be supported. Allow yourself to be supported with these energies and to know that all of this is happening so that you can grow, so that you can evolve. That's why we're here. We are here to create new experiences. And it's in your power to do so. And this month, you will get to see that for yourself. So your invitation is to feel in to your own power, to feel into the power of you. Are you willing to decide to be devoted to that, to you being in your power, to make choices in devotion to who you are, to love yourself so much, to value you so much, that you are willing to stand alone, though you are never alone. Beautiful. Any questions, comments, please feel free to share and I will be happy to respond. If you are curious, if you're curious about your own essence, about your own patterns, about your own numbers, if you are feeling stuck, if you are ready to move, are you ready to do something new? Or you're ready to create profound, amazing, wealthy, loving, abundant wealth, like wealth. I was going to say well-being, but if you're ready, then I'm going to invite you to connect with me so that we can come into a deeper understanding of what it is that you're desiring, and so that we can get there together. Beautiful. Questions, comments, please feel free to share. I said that already. So much love, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.